Okay, what we're going to learn how to do is we're going to learn how to do the X game or the diamond puzzle. And so the reason why I call it an X game is your worksheet's all nice, and it does have like diamond puzzles and drawn out for you, but a lot of times they don't draw it out all nice for you, so they just do this. That's why I call it the X game. So we just do the X, and we put the numbers in. Okay. So what you need to know to understand how to do this thing, this X game, is I need, basically, this is going to be addition, and this up top is going to be multiplication. So this is add, this is multiply. So basically, I need two numbers that add up to 3 that are going to multiply to be a -4. Okay? Let's start with the -4. First of all, how do you have two numbers that multiply to be a negative number? What do you need? You need a negative, and what else do you need? A negative and a positive, because a negative times a positive is a negative, right? So how many different ways, and you can use a calculator, how many different ways can you get 4 by multiplying? It can't be that many. I think there's exactly 2 different ways, right? 1 times 4 and... Okay. So that's not very many choices. So let's say we put a 2 here and a 2 here. Would that add up to be a 3? Okay. So that's out, because a -2 and a +2 would be a 0, right? So who do you think, which number is going to be bigger if we're adding, the positive or the negative? It's a +3, right? So probably the positive is going to be the bigger number. So let's see if this works out. Let's put a 4 there. Let's put a 1 here. Does that work? -1 times 4 is -4. -1 plus 4 is +3. Is that the solution? Let's try another one. And of course, I'm just picking ones on your worksheet today. Okay, this one looks like it's easier. It's positive numbers, right? And I usually start with multiply, mainly because it's on top, but there's a lot of different ways to add numbers to be 13, but there's only a few ways to multiply numbers to be 22. What do you first think when you think about a double digit? It is something times what number? 11, right? So maybe it's 2 times 11. They're both positive, right? So I think both of these are going to be positive, right? Because a positive times a positive is going to be a positive, and if you add 2 positives. So let's see if 11 works. If I put a 2 here and 11 here, 2 times 11 is 22. 2 plus 11 is, okay, that worked, right? Does the order matter of these two? Could I write 11 and 2? Yeah, you can add or multiply in any order, right? Okay, let's look at another one. This one has a negative again. Okay, nice thing about negatives, if you got a negative up here with multiply, that means one's going to be negative and one's going to be positive. I'm going to put the positive here and the negative here because when you add, I think the positive is going to be the bigger number. And again, 6. There's probably not that many ways to do 6. The only ways I know how to do 6 are 6 times 1 or 3 times 2, right? Is there another way to do 6? I mean, it's a small number. There can't be that many ways, right? So let's figure out which one that's going to be. All right, what did we get? Does that work? 6 times negative 1 is negative 6. 6 minus 1 is? Okay. Let's look at 9. Just to kind of, how can we fill in the rest of these? 10 times what number could be 40? That's it. Is that the only thing? What do they add together to be?
30.
10 and 4 are 30?
Oh, I think it's the 40.
Okay. That one's easier, right? Okay, there's some of them that are going to be like that. We'll do one more and I'll let you set you free. Let's do this last one. 32, 12. This one looks a little harder. Although even though 32 looks hard, we can still grind it out with our calculator. And this is how you do it. If you just can't think of anything, you go like 32. Well, obviously 32 times 1 would work, but 32 plus 1 is not going to be 12. So let's try this. 32, can we see this at all? Does that help? 32 divided by 2. Okay, that works. So that would be 2 times 16 works. That might work. They're both going to be positive, but that's probably not the right answer, so let's try another one. 32 divided by 3, does that work? No, doesn't work. 32 divided by 4, does that work? Oh yeah, that works. 4 times 8, is that going to work for us? You see how I did that with the calculator? And so you just keep going and find the things that works. So that would be 8 times 4 or 4 times 8, doesn't matter. And that's the diamond game. And so let's try to get this done.